Hello, everyone. I was almost in time with my cup of coffee. So, my name is Anton Babenko. Today, I'd like to continue working on Terraform AWS modules. And let's start. If you can hear me well, I hope you can hear me well. Um, just say hi in the chat. As usually, if you have any questions about what I do, why I do this way, and so on, don't hesitate to ask, and maybe I will be able to answer your question during today's episode as well. So this is my GitHub page. You can see that I've been active in Terraform field for quite some time. If you like what I'm doing, uh, don't hesitate again to become sponsors, because that's pretty much how I'm living. Yeah. Oh, cool. Thanks everyone for joining from LinkedIn, and maybe somebody even joined from YouTube. I don't know. So far, only LinkedIn is visible, but hopefully, people from YouTube can join as well. So, yeah, Terraform AWS modules, that's what I've been doing, and today is no exception. Recently, there was pretty cool announcement by AWS SAM blog. Let's say this one. Yeah, this was recently, a couple days ago. Eric Johnson wrote that AWS serverless application model now supports Terraform. Well, this has started more than a year ago. So now, if you use AWS SAM, I can increase font. If you're using AWS SAM, you can connect it with your Terraform, and they have mentioned serverless.tf modules for AWS Lambda, uh, which you guys probably can imagine what's going on there. Well, it's managing all Lambda resources using Terraform module. And they have explained what is it, how it works, and how this integration works. Overall, it's quite simple. You have, well, there is a repository with the code. I can try to find it. Mm, no, I cannot find it here. It's somewhere here. I'll just briefly show what's going on here. So we have, let's say, this. We have source of our. On the left, you can see we have source file for the application. We have Terraform resources, and we have um, functions where we are making Lambda functions. A couple Lambda functions are created here, and yeah, and then after you create these Terraform resources and some API gateway resources, you should be able to call SAM local invoke to invoke this Lambda function locally by just specifying URL or IRN of this function. And you can also test authorizers, and you can send different events there. So it's pretty good implementation. Again, if you use SAM previously, it was a bit cumbersome to support Terraform, but during the year this has improved, and now you can do it. Also, there is serverless.tf example. I don't know what is it, but well, apparently it's similar type of code. Anyway, you can go there and figure out what's there. Right, it's same thing, but it was added just 10 months ago. So the work has been for quite some time. I'm curious to know what kind of feedback people will have, because I personally use Lambda and serverless quite often for different projects, for different customers. And I know a lot of people are using it, but my question is pretty much how useful this integration is between AWS SAM and Terraform. Do you guys think that this is going to be a thing? so that you write your Terraform code, and then you can invoke this function. I really don't know if this is what you guys are using. So feedback is always welcome. Okay, that's it. That's it. And Terraform Weekly TF, as Eric recently noted, looks ugly and it looks like a website has been hacked. Well, I know what you mean. I patiently start to hate this platform because amount of customization which I have is pretty much none. But I don't want to migrate to anything else yet because I don't have time for that. So anyway, Terraform Weekly is there. If you like to learn new things and different tricks, then feel free to subscribe and follow along. And I'd like to say thanks to Ben from Cloud Concierge project. So this is a project which allows us uh, to do few things. So it is um, it's a container that integrates with your existing Terraform management stack. So it's like different things being executed, and then you can see results in your pull request or somewhere else. Um, yeah, that's it. Feel free to check it out if you want to have a little bit more um, kind of features in your pipeline. It may be quite useful for many different reasons. And yeah, that's it. So thanks, Ben, and thanks, Cloud Concierge, for sponsoring Terraform Weekly. Okie dokie. All right, there is a question. Oh, no, there is actually hope they will enable Terraform for Amplify as well. Mm, not sure I understand what do you mean by that. How exactly do you think this integration can happen? I mean, first of all, Amplify itself is 235 services with the same name, so I don't really know which service do you mean. But yeah, always feel free to provide them feedback and ask. If you don't know who to ask, please reach out to me. I can introduce you to the yeah, to the person who can provide some information. As I understand, OpenTF manifesto is just a bunch of freeloaders. Uh, well, uh, I don't want to even think about OpenTF, honestly, because this is something what I don't have problem with. I mean, I was not affected by the license change by HashiCorp, first of all. Second, the direction where OpenTF is moving is kind of strange. And lastly, but not least, is the intention of this uh, move in general is pretty vague. So yeah, I don't know what is it, but anyway, I will not uh, do anything about OpenTF at least for a few months because it's just noise. I mean, if I will be distracted by such things here and there, I will not do anything. And believe me, I have few pretty cool things in the pipeline, which I'd like to share in the near future. And yeah, and I really like to focus there. Okay, so currently Amplify CLI uses CloudFormation to deploy. Mm, right. Yeah, this is true. But again, I'm not big expert of Amplify. For me, Amplify is still a collection of several things. But yeah, CloudFormation is definitely default choice for Amplify still. Um, mm, it's a good question. I wonder when you would use cloud-centric CLI like AWS Amplify, SAM, serverless versus Terraform. Well, it's quite interesting question because for some things, like for pretty much all things, I would say, I look into two of these things simultaneously. So when I need to deploy something like serverless, okay, with serverless is a bit easier because I already have pretty decent understanding of how to implement it with Terraform. But if let's say I go to manage something what is not yet supported in Terraform, and then I look into okay, what AWS has to offer there, and in many cases the solution by AWS is pretty hard to automate. So okay, they may give you some pieces of CloudFormation with very different quality, very different. So you will spend a lot of time just looking into different parameters or bugs. Oh my God, don't even say that this is simple. Uh, or you can use something like CLI and maybe use some I don't know scripting to call certain CLIs and to make your own script. But by default, if there is at least some support in Terraform, I usually fall back to Terraform right away because I had pretty bad experience with CloudFormation. I paid pretty close attention to the release of Terraform AWS provider. So like recently, I was helping with QuickSight, and I see that QuickSight um, has some support. What was it? 2 weeks ago. So 2 weeks ago, they added some support for different QuickSight resources. By reading these resources, I cannot say that this is enough or is it just a small fraction of features available in QuickSight. So it's pretty hard to identify right away. So that's why fall back to the provided solution by AWS, like CloudFormation template in this case, and some other scripts was better option. Because writing everything on low-level resources or figuring out if it's a feature or if it's a bug or is it implemented and so on will be extremely time-consuming. So I don't look into this one until I really need. Okay, let's move on to the topic which I started last week, and today I'd like to continue it. So the thing which I was working last week, I started implementing EventBridge Pipes since this feature was added not long time ago. It was 5.6, 5.6, 5.6.0, somewhere here. They added support for pipes. Cool. So when they added this support, well, maybe they added it a bit earlier. I don't know, but at least this is the minimum version when it seems to become useful. Um, let's check out if there was something after. So after this, there were a couple fixes. So some bug fixes, and that's it. So overall, since July 20, this feature is in pretty good shape according to Terraform AWS provider. So let's look into what exactly do we need to do. And I was actually thinking to look into the documentation and to write as much as I can. I have 1 hour still to go, so we'll see how much I can accomplish in 1 hour. Okay, so the documentation for this resource is pretty comprehensive with lots of different arguments supported. Oh my god, that's a lot of coding. Let's see, that's a lot of coding. So let's see where I finished last time. Okay, Here is my code. Let's see. I move things a little bit higher so that everybody can see and my head is not in the way. Okay, so place where I finished last time was, so I added AWS Pipes pipe resource, and I added a couple things here, and then eventually I will add support for IAM pipes permission. I have no clue how to do this yet, but who cares? And continuous here. This is pretty much my way of writing. I usually write, and then I make syntax error so that it does not compile or it doesn't work in this place. And then I continue next day. This way I can know at least where I was. Okay, so let's take a look into what kind of required attributes should be provided, and then we move on from there. So in required is role, source, and target, and the rest is optional. So the rest is optional. I'm looking into this documentation here, and I can see that let's see, somewhere here. I copied this resource from somewhere else, so I don't want to remove it yet. But okay, a description at most 520 characters. Okay, good to know. But this is optional. So desired state, the state of the pipe should be running or stopped. Sounds like a good thing, right? So it should be desired state. Again, we don't care. We don't specify the default values here because this is optional, and we let Terraform AWS provider to figure out what is actually the default value. Enrichment resource of the pipe. Enrichment. Okay, enrichment. Let's leave it like this. And enrichment parameters is another thing. So these two things are optional. We'll look into this. Name of the pipe. Well, name of the pipe. We will give name to the pipe anyway. So no need to specify name and name prefix. Source parameters, target parameters, and tags. Okay, so source and tags. And tags will be tags. Where is tags? No tags. Okay. How do we handle tags? Let's see, tags. Well, we handle tags pretty simple. No, we handle them. Yeah, tags are pretty badly actually. Okay, for each pipe, we may have different set of tags. So that's a good strategy at least to follow here. Okay, so tags, and this is Romanian enrichment parameters, source parameters, and target parameters. Okay, dokie. Let's see. Since all of this is enrichment parameter. Oh, well, this block is from another place, but let's see. Enrichment. What does this enrichment even mean? Let's look into the example just to understand enrichment parameters are some input, HTTP parameters. Okay, so input templates and HTTP parameters. Looks simple. Let's see in the code. Yeah, it is simple, but where this guy is coming from? Should we create it ourselves here? Event destination. Do we even have this resource? Yeah, we do have this resource. Oh my God. So we create this resource already. Nice. Mm. Okay. So yeah, it's time to implement this block and an example. Let's see. No, this is on camera. Okay, so here is how it's implemented for event target. So similar will have to be similar, but not similar. Okay, so enrichment. So when user specify what user can specify, and destination. Okay, so inside of destination, that's it. So when user specify enrichment in our case, and we look for this value, if it exists, right? If it exists, then we use it. If it does not exist, then each value enrichment. Oh, I'm not sure that this is right. Okay, so two cases. One is that we create this enrichment using the module, then user will specify enrichment, and there will be name of API destination resource which we can find, right? If not, then user will have to provide enrichment as an IRN, and it will be used here. That's it. Can this be simplified? I typically ask myself. The answer is yes, it can. Can it be simplified? Yes, it can be simplified. For example, if we write try and then we try to find whatever is possible, and if not, we try to find this, and if not, it's null. Oh, that's so awesome. I'm not sure if it will work, because if enrichment is not specified, it's going to be it may produce an error of like panic. But okay, let's try this one. It looks cool. I agree, it looks cool. Okay, so it was enrichment, and now we need to have enrichment parameters. Enrichment parameters, and let's move tags a little bit higher. Okay, so we are dealing with enrichment only. This I will implement later. Okay, let's look into example. In the example here, what is this? Who wrote this? Okay, it's me. Hmm. Right. So probably I forgot what I wanted to do here last week when I copied this. But anyway, let's look into this example and try to focus on just pipes. So we add pipes here, and we provide a bunch of different values here. Okay, so we'll figure out these arguments now. What else do we need to do? We need to make extra resources mm, for this CloudWatch API destination for this guy, right? So inside of extra resources, we will make API destination. We call it external, and we'll make something. It will be called random path. Does it have name prefix? No, it doesn't have. Okay, this one, and this is going to be external. Description we don't need. Invocation endpoint do we need? HTTP method. This connection IRN. Well, this is a bit harder to do, as far as I remember. Do you use TF language server? No, I don't. Even better, we are currently developing our own, because the one which is official is very limited. So yeah, it will be a part of a bigger project which is still in development. Yeah, but of course, if you use VS Code editor by HashiCorp, you will use this language server. Okay, so talking about this guy, CloudWatch event connection. Well, we need to create all of this, right? But of course, we need to create it as a small thing, right? And also, connection IRN, is it really required? Let's see. So the thing which I'm trying to do is just to figure out, right? Just to figure out what is the minimum. Let's see. Any idea if OpenTF is going to release their thing soon? Yeah, they will release it soon. And as I said earlier, I don't care at all about what's going on there. I have more work than ever to focus, and it's more fun than talking about pretty irrelevant things to me. You should do Twitch stream. Yeah, I already do. If you go to Twitch TV/Anton Babenko, you should see me now there. There is one viewer who is probably me, but yeah, it is there. I don't pay attention to Twitch at all because it's just noise and yeah, very strange platform to stream continuously. But yeah, it is still streaming there and 504 followers. But I'm not active there. Okay, so let's look into this resource API destination. So my question is, yeah, connection IRN is unfortunately required. Okay, so then I will look into this example, event connection. Yeah, IRN is required. Yeah, that's what I see. But I just want to find really small, simple example which I can use something like this. API key. Yeah, API keys. Simple and should be enough. Okay. So here we are back into this event connection and external. Okay, so that's it. And HTTP method will be post and invocation endpoint. I think it is, well, me. Let me see. So I have serverless.tf playground. This one. And I think somewhere here I mentioned SME. SME is a tool. SME, right, SME. Okay, so that's it. So I need to go to SME IO. I thought there was something more interesting than this one. Start new channel, and this is my channel URL. So now when I post something, it should be visible here. Okay, good. So I have this URL. I can put it into here, and that's good. So API key. What else is required here? How about no authorization at all? Is there a way to just disable it completely? Auth. Well, authorization type, as I can see, is required. Strange, but what if my system does not have any authorization? Anyway, it's okay. We can live with this. We can fake it and say that this is take as description. We don't need API key. Is that it? Okay. Well, it is against AWS practices. I'm not sure that I need to respect AWS practices in this at this time, at least. Okay, let's see. API connection. Okay, and this guy is not needed as far as I remember for now. So, okay, so looking into this thing here, pipes. We're going to make EventBridge, and we are going to make pipes. So this is the main thing. Inside of pipes, we need to specify these things. I usually copy things like back and forth, as you can see, just because it's easier for me to have things nearby so that I can see. I need to specify name. Should I specify name? No, it's going to be created. Okay, so that's it. A role IRN is required. Should I make a role now? Role. Role. Well, probably I will specify role IRN in one of the pipes. It will be external IAM role, right? I guess I do this in complete example already. No, I don't do it here. I don't do it here, but the principle which I wanted to follow is that I will make different pipes here with different set of arguments, and there will be one where I provide this role I ran created externally. So external, and one will be where role I ran will be created by the module itself. So for now, let's skip this one, but I need to change it in the code. So source and target. I have no clue. Still, I have no clue what is source and target. Is it IRN? Source and target. Tags. Tags and enrichment. So now we are playing with enrichment. So enrichment will be enrichment will be the one which is created which was created externally. So in our case, it will be this one, external IRN, right? And another value which is needed is going to be enrichment of event destination. Oh yeah, I have example here. Cool. Right. Where is this? This is a basic example. SME. Right. Oh, I have already SME here, but I use OAuth client credentials. Right. Okay. So here is it. SME destination is here. Okay. So I will make pipes, and I will also make an API destination, and I will call it SME, and this SME is going to be provided here as SME, right? So this is key inside API destinations. Okay, so two different values here. Tags. Do I need tags? Well, I probably need, again, AWS tells us to use tags, so what can possibly go wrong if I specify tags here and I say that pipe, how to call this even pipe? Pipe. I mean, pipe 1. No, it should be something something more suitable than just pipe 1. Oh, amazing pipe. Oh, I think that's cool. So amazing pipe. No, it should be here. Amazing pipe. Amazing sp pipe. Sp pipe. Sp pipe or sme pipe. Sme pipe. Right. Sme pipe. Well, the thing is that, as far as I understand, pipes. And again, let's look into this awesome drawing. Or no, actually here. We are taking care of enrichment only here, right? So this is where SME will be introduced, not in filtering, not in target, source. So that's why it's just amazing. I mean, it's amazing pipe and everything is amazing. Okay, let's go. This is not needed. Okay, so we make destination. Is it post? Okay, let it be post. Let's call it the same URL. Okay, and enrichment is done. So the rest will be about source parameters and some other arguments. Okay, so we have amazing pipe, we have source and target, which is still not clear what it should be. Like what kind of IRN can I put it in this case, just to get it going. Okay, so we can put it as a simple example, make just couple queues. Yeah, let's make couple queues, and it will be source and target. Where do I make queues? I have so many examples already that it's pretty hard to navigate and just understand. Default bus. Yeah, cool. So inside of default bus, I have, it can be target. Yeah, so I'm going to make SQS. Okay, so that's pretty much how I make queues. Very complicated piece of code. It can be API destination, target. Let me see. I'm not sure I understand. Okay, yeah, that's why. Okay, cool. So target can be not just a service, but also an API destination. Okay, I didn't know that. I thought it's um, but okay, we can make enrichment as a Lambda function, but target can be SME. Right? Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. So we'll take it from, let's say, SQS, filter it somehow, enrich with Lambda function, and push it to this SME endpoint. Pretty cool. Okay. All right. So I need to make couple Lambda functions. Oh, couple queues, or at least one queue is enough. Right. So it's going to be what is it going to be? It's going to be source, maybe. Is it source queue? Yeah, okay, let's make it as a source, and let's make it as a target. Tick, tick, source. Tick, tick, tick. Okay, so we make couple queues. Can I use name prefix here? Oh yeah, I can use. But okay, I already gave pretty good name, source and target. Okay, so inside of this one, we need to specify AWS SQSQ source. Is it IRN or is it? Because I remember there were some surprises with this in the past. Let's see, in the documentation they say IRN. Good, so it will be IRN here as well. Target IRN. Okay. IRN, yes. There is some delay from the chat, so I receive it and it's already too late. But okay, thanks anyway for helping. Okay, so let's try to go to examples and with pipes and run it. Tinit. Hello, Stanislav. Yeah, well, you're welcome. It's fun to work on this stuff. Um, right. You may think, what is T? T is my shortcut for TerraGrant and Terraform. I typed Terraform and TerraGrant probably thousands of times during my career. So I made an alias, which is if there is file TerraGrant HCL, then call TerraGrant, else call Terraform. I also have alias, I think, for TerraGrant as well. Yeah, I also have alias for TerraGrant as well, where I played with some parameters, but it's not really relevant. So still, T is pretty cool. So now T apply pipes. Pipes is not expected here. Well, I'm not surprised because I didn't add the variable. Connections, schedules. So somewhere here we call it pipes. Map of object with EventBridge pipe definitions. I'm not sure if it's map of any or any. It's simpler to specify any here in this case and see how it goes. Right. Block of type source parameter is required. Oh my god, a lot of magic is required. Right, let's look into removing this for now. EventBridge schedules has not been declared. How this is even related to schedules? Interesting. Okay, it's line 438. 438. EventBridge schedules. EventBridge schedules has not been declared. Yeah, it's true. It has not been declared because it's probably called something else. Scheduler. Schedule. Interesting. What kind of bug is this? Let's see. EventBridge pipes. Oh, I just by accident I just renamed one thing instead of add new one. Okay, that's not good. So let's see. So the new thing is EventBridge pipes, but the old thing was called changes. No. Yeah, the old thing was schedules, so that's. So I just need to roll back these changes and this change. Okay, right. So this is where I need to have fun. Okay, I by accident copied, not copied, but replaced it. What else? Insufficient source and target parameters. Right. So source and target parameters should be here somehow. and enrichment parameters. Okay, so let's look into one of these. So what is source parameters or enrichment parameter, right? Since that's what I was doing before. So enrichment parameter, um, the error message was unsupported block type, enrichment parameters. Enrichment parameters. Why it doesn't like my enrichment parameters? Okay. Uh, unsupported block type. Okay, so what is it? Enrichment parameter has all of these things optional. Mm, mm, yeah, that's it. So all of this is optional. So now let's look into why my code is not working. Can it be related to the fact that enrichment itself is not yet created? No? But okay, if I remove this guy from here, will it complain? No, it's not complaining. Okay, problem solved. Okay, I will edit. I will edit a bit later. For now, let's simplify example because I can see that there are quite a lot of things broken. In this case, pointing to this thing before it is created, maybe not the easiest thing to implement right now. So let's make another one first. So we'll make this external destination with our properties, and then enrichment will be picked up and enrichment parameters will be picked up as well. Enrichment parameters are not expected here. Okay, let's make it simple. Just start with target creation of blocks of type. What is this? What is this problem even? I'm trying to make just one API destination external. P, at least one target parameters block are required. Come on, I don't need anything of this. All I want is just to create one resource. Of course, I don't need outputs. I just want to create this resource first. So event connection, API destination, and random path. Looks great. Okay, so now if I uncomment this thing, will it work? Oh, sorry. Tplan. No, it does not work. Even if I specified correct value here. Okay, let's see what is actually correct value here. I ran is this guy. So I'm just putting this hard-coded value here because I want to see unsupported block type gone, but it's not going away. Okay, it didn't help. So let's go back. So this is the right way. We specify it as external IRN. Something is wrong here. Apparently, let's see, in the documentation, it says that key value. What if I just don't specify this in this at all? Is it still unsupported block type? What is unsupported block type? Let's go to pipes enrichment, SQS. Oh, that's a pretty good idea actually to make it as a pattern as well. Because for those who don't know, I have contributed many patterns here approximately a year ago. Here, if you go to Terraform with modules, all of these patterns, which are listed here, I wrote, yeah, about a year ago. So this seems to be useful for some people. But okay, let's go back to this. To this guy. So EventBridge Pipes from SQS with Lambda enrichment and an SQS again. Pipe enrichment parameters. Yeah, that's a pretty simple example. Enrichment policy is just empty always. Now, this example is not really helpful. Enrichment parameters. That's exactly what I have, right? Will this thing even work if I run it on its own? Because sometimes these examples are just not working right away. So if I go to this place and if I comment out pretty much everything and I add this thing here, I just need to have my two queues and my random path resource. A role IRN, yeah, well, a role IRN, I don't have it. Maybe that's the problem? No? But okay, let's leave something here, and API destination will be this. Okay, very simple. And it's failing. Okay, thank you very much, HashiCorp, for providing this example. It doesn't work. Okay, then roll back everything and it's time to fix. Tick, 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 tick. Okay, yeah, we'll figure out what is necessary there, but for now it does not seem to work. Okay, so forget about enrichment parameters. Another place where I can look into enrichment parameters, if it is actually supported or if it's written correctly, is that I can go to this provider and I can search here, and I'm looking for tests or now this is documentation. That's not what I wanted. I want to find test. This is it. All right. So somewhere here, I'm looking for enrichment parameters. So when this no, that's not enough. I want some tests. Okay, pipe. This is pipe test, right? What if I want to go to, what is README? README is something new. I didn't see this file before. But okay, I don't need it right now. So somewhere here, I want to find enrichment parameter, some HCL structure. I can see that this is a list of one item, and it is optional, and it has pretty simple schema. Right, so all of this is very straightforward, and it just converting structure. Here is the text fixtures. Now it's lambda. A resource. I'm looking for this. What was the name? Pipe. Pipe. Right. Okay. So that's what I was looking for. So we have code snippet for different things. So we have event connection, API destination. We have enrichment, which is pointing to IRN. So far, so good. And we have enrichment parameter. That's it, right? So that's exactly what I was looking for. Yeah, looks pretty good. Looks similar to what we have in the code, right? Does it work? No. I don't know, maybe something changed. No, it doesn't work. Okay, no problem. Let's forget about this for now. Let's get rid of these target parameters and source parameters. Because if I run it without, that's it. So this one is not working, and I can help future myself by just pointing a link to the test. It's usually very helpful to know how Terraform being tested, so that I can see. Sometimes there are small differences between test case and documentation. Not so often anymore, but still it can happen. Okay, so source parameters and target parameter. Let's look into what can be source parameter. Again, let's look into source parameters here, just for inspiration. Oh my god, there are a lot of filter criteria for different types of source. I'm looking for SQS, just an example. Okay, here is it. Mhm. So if I have this thing somewhere inside of my code, let's say I put it here, and if I run tplan unsupported block type, what is this? Who is this writing? Hmm? Source parameters. Why? What's wrong? Are not expected here, but where they are expected? Do I use ancient version of? Maybe that's the case. Maybe I'm using old version of provider. I don't know. Okay, so it helped. I was using ancient version of provider. I don't know which exactly, but apparently that was a problem. Now uh, if I move it, then it works. And what about this enrichment thing? Does it uh, work now? Yeah, right. Okay, it's gone. Good. So no need to think about this as a bug. It was just my stupidity here. Fine. So the last thing is unsupported IAM role. Don't care about this right now. Uh, Again, we are focusing on just source parameters here because I think it's going to be. Um, is it? Mm. Okay, it's optional. So let's forget about this one first for a second. Let's finish this enrichment because as I can see, it's at least not failing. Okay, it tells that it needs to be an IRN. Okay, if it needs to be an IRN, I can give you an IRN. I am role. Do you need an IRN of a role? Here is how it looks like. Pipes. Okay, so here we are going to provide at least a valid IRN. I think I even have this role available, but again, for the purpose of this demo, uh, it's okay. We also can remove this just to get rid of this error message. We can remove skip request and account ID. I guess this is a check. Right, okay, so at least no complaints. Everything seems to be fine. It's going to create this awesome pipe. Description is a bit ugly, but it's default. Yeah, and it will create even role. Okay, right. So for this role, what we need to do. Oh wait, no, role is separately. Let's focus on just enrichment parameters because it's all right. It's going to be quite simple to add here. So let's look into what kind of um, things exist inside of this enrichment parameter. So it's, as I look here, enrichment parameters. Okay, enrichment parameters is some sort of string valid JSON passed to the target, and uh, it's also block with mm, some other things. So all of this is optional. Okay. So let's see if I remember how to write dynamic blocks, or at least where can I take them from. I found a good example in the middle of somewhere. Mhm. Or yeah, let's steal this block together. Okay, so enrichment parameter, it's gonna to be for this one, and role I ran is gonna to be for another block, for this one. That's for later. So enrichment parameters, if it is specified, then let's write it. Content of this guy is the following. It's been a while since I wrote these blocks last time, so bear with me if I struggle, as it may look like I have never written this before, but I'm actually into HCL manipulations lately, so I've been doing a lot of this HCL code generations things. Okay, so we have this guy, and then the input is called input template. Input template. It is optional. So it is optional. It can be just try, right? Okay, this is it. And then inside of it, we have block which is called HTTP parameters. And HTTP parameters is going to look for enrichment parameters value HTTP parameters. Yes, like this. So if this guy exists, then we render the whole HTTP parameter blocks, right? But inside of it, we are going to have this. It's going to be not each, but it's going to be HTTP parameters value something like this. Okay. No, of course not. It's all optional, so it should be try null. Something like this. Okay, so at least this block will be rendered. Okay, I think that's it with this block. So we have enrichment and enrichment parameters, and what else can we do? Can we run plan still? Looks good. Enrichment parameters will not passed because they were not specified. So what we need to do, we need to go to this amazing example and add enrichment parameters right, it's going to be some fun with conversion, but in general, it's something like this. TFMT. Okay. So now it may fail because because of maps and list and so on. So let's figure out how to write this thing. If I look into this example, into this block, and imagine that this guy is a map, so we are checking uh, whether this argument exists, then we make it. All right, so this one is fine. Then, if we are able to get input template, we use it. So far, we could not. Then, if we go into well, how to find how to check that there is a key with name HTTP parameter. As I said, it's been a while since I wrote things like this before, so let me look into these examples, into previous ways how this was written. Oh, okay, right, yeah, so that's it. Yeah, so we are right, each value. Maybe not in this case. Right, so instead of navigating through enrichment parameters, we can look into parent. So instead of going through this one, we can look into each value enrichment parameter, which is actually the same thing, right? Lookup requires a map. So where is a map? This is a map. How about this one? Hmm? I completely forgot how to write this stuff. Let's see. Of course, I can look into some other piece of code, which is going to be, where do we have a lot of maps? Can it be, let's say EFS, because there are mounts, and no, for each. Okay, like this, yeah. So we eagerly try to fetch like this. And if we could not, Mm, mhm. If we could not, then this. Okay, no. Right. So what this does, Q pipe enrichment parameter is empty. It's not what we want. Mm, let's let null enrichment. Mm, right. Mm, yeah, okay, I'm lost here. I completely forgot Terraform from now on. Anyway, it's already more than 1 hour stream, so for me it's enough to leave it here. I will work on it maybe during the week. If not, I will continue next week. Um, but the point is that once I add this enrichment parameter, similar thing I will do for source parameters, target parameters, add bunch of examples, and here we are. Okay, I think that's it for today. I think it was good stream overall. I didn't do what I wanted to do because I thought like I'm going to finish it today, but apparently it's harder than I thought. So I'll continue later. Thanks everyone for joining, and wish you all to have a great day, and see some of you later next week in Munich. Bye.